was so busy thinking about where I'll end up at the end that I don't think about right now. And actually, the way to do well is generally to do what you're doing now as well as you possibly can. And that is not only in terms of things like getting promotion, but just having integrity. Because you've got two options in a way. You've got one to get to the place you want to be without doing a good job, which really isn't a good place to be because you know that maybe you don't really deserve to be there. And the other is do a good job and then in one sense, let other people decide where you're going to be because hopefully it doesn't always work out, but hopefully you will be successful in the end because you did a good job today. And I think that, if I look back over my career and the things that have gone well, they've generally been rooted in being focused on as a teacher, teaching a good lesson today, looking after that student, marking that work, doing all the things you have to do day to day. Because then if someone's looking around someone to lead, they say, okay, well, this guy does a good job. Therefore, that's one of the things we need as a leader. If you're not a good classroom teacher, you're probably not going to be a very good leader in the school. And it doesn't matter what job you do. If you can't do the basics well, you're not going to be able to go on and do the next thing. And equally, when you are a leader, I think, thinking about on each occasion when you're doing an interview, when you're supporting a colleague, when you're still teaching lessons, we need to be doing all those things well because they're the components that make up success at the end of the day. Just saying, you got more money in a higher position doesn't really mean much if you're not doing a good job. And, one of the great things that you see over time is doesn't matter what level you're at, you need to do today's job well and not worry so much about the future, let it worry about itself.
So just do the best you can do at that moment, what are you doing, and then grow from that along the journey. So enjoy the process.